reaching East Mississippi and West Alabama's news leader. This is News Center 11.
An Alabama couple back in Meridian tonight, facing charges in connection with the murder of a Meridian man. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dina Day. Thank you for joining us tonight for News Center 11 at 10 o'clock. Well, the man that police say shot and killed a Meridian man Monday night and the woman they say helped him are behind bars in Meridian tonight. Leroy Lewis and Peyton Ann Bailey are charged in connection with the murder of 28-year-old Riandricus Rogers. They were captured Tuesday in Montgomery. More on their expedition to Meridian topping our news tonight. Well, Lewis and Bailey arrived at the Meridian Police Department around 5 o'clock this evening after they were extradited from Montgomery, where they were arrested on Tuesday. Now, the two were caught in their hometown of Montgomery after leading police on a high-speed chase in the same car, matching the description given by witnesses who saw Monday night shooting. Now, both were wanted in connection with that shooting near 8th Street in downtown Meridian that left 23-year-old Riandricus Rogers dead. And during the chase, police say Leroy Lewis and Peyton Bailey threw a handgun out of the window, which was later recovered. The police department says the gun, along with shell casings found at the murder scene, have been sent to the state crime lab to confirm whether they were used during the shooting.
Sometime next week, they're going to have a hearing, and based on that hearing, if the judge feel like it's enough evidence to bound them over to the next grand jury, this case will be presented to the grand jury.
Well, the suspects were interrogated by police in Montgomery and are currently being processed here at the Meridian Police Department, where detectives will continue that questioning. Well, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department says it has arrested a local man on charges he tried to buy sex from an underage girl using her mother as a proxy. 51-year-old Randy Griffin is charged under Mississippi's new human trafficking law. Unfortunately, investigators say he was arrested before he was able to do what he intended. News Center 11's Aaron Morrison reports how they stopped the crime before it happened.
Under a new Mississippi law, a person who knowingly attempts to cause a minor to engage in commercial sexual activity, or more commonly known as an illicit sexual business, could face huge charges. Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun of the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department says this is the case of one local man who attempted to buy a child in order to have sex with her.
The Sheriff's Department took into custody Randy Griffin, a 51-year-old Lauderdale Countian who had solicited sex from an adult, but having that adult provide a child for that sexual activity.
Calhoun says it took help from the defense attorney when it came to the charges for Griffin.
Determination was made to charge him with a fairly new statute that we have in our state, which is called human trafficking, and he has been charged with that. A $100,000 bond has been set.
Under this new law, which was amended last year, criminals can receive no less than 5 nor more than 30 years in prison and no fine less than $50,000 nor more than $500,000. With an increase in human trafficking in Mississippi over the years, Calhoun says it's important that the community as a whole lets those know it will not be tolerated.
One of the things I believe in our community and in communities across this country, and we're certainly not unlike other parts of our nation, there are going to be individuals who are going to attempt to do these types of activities. We as a law enforcement agency and as a community have to send a strong message that it won't be tolerated.
Calhoun says Griffin's case will be taken to the next available grand jury. In Lauderdale County, Aaron Morrison, News Center 11.
Griffin is in the Lauderdale County Jail tonight on a $100,000 bond. Well, it has been raining out there most of the day. Brian joins us now to talk about when we could see some relief from the rain. Brian?
Yeah, it has been a soggy Friday for a lot of us, and rain continues as well for most of us, but rain is already starting to come to an end, especially if you're north of Interstate 20. Viperacia radar tracking those rain showers as they continue marching eastward. Northwest portions of the viewing area are already dry, and we'll continue to dry things out as we head through the overnight hours. So tomorrow morning, while those clouds early, then we will break for some sunshine, especially in the latter portions of the day. We should make it to the lower to middle 50s area-wide. I'll let you know when our next rain chance arrives in your Christmas Day forecast in just a few minutes. Dina?
All right, thank you very much, Brian. Well, gas prices have been very high for the past several years, but today they reached a low point most have not seen in a long time. News Center 11's Tom Williams reports how customers feel about that early Christmas gift at the gas pump.
Gas prices around the country have been going down. In Mississippi, they are even lower than the rest of the nation, with Sam's Club coming in just under $2. Other areas of town are showing prices right above the $2 mark, and with the holiday season upon us, travelers are excited.
$40 to fill it up, but now it's more like $25.
We spent about $50, and today I spent under $40, so it's good.
People are saying gas prices are so low, they don't worry about going to one service station over another. They say the prices are just awesome everywhere.
Just go whichever's closer. I mean, I don't really think about it. I just stop and get gas, and it's cheap pretty much than it has been all the way around, so I'm fine with it.
With gas prices on a downward trend, drivers tell me that it's perfect timing. Christmas is right around the corner, and that means more money in their pockets to spend on loved ones.
It's great. I mean, especially during the holidays with people traveling and buying Christmas presents, it's just great to have a little extra cash.
And that cash can go a long way when it comes to travel. Travelers say they have seen different prices in different places and think it should be consistent.
It probably should be about the same, you know, stay low everywhere. But I'm just glad that it's low here in Mississippi.
Just say, the way it jumps up and down, I really don't know. That's why I'm filling up now.
In Meridian, Tom Williams, News Center 11.
Mississippi will soon have a new head of its prison system. Governor Phil Bryant today named Marshall Fisher as the commissioner of the Mississippi Department of Corrections. Now, Fisher replaces Chris Epps, who resigned last month, then was indicted on federal corruption charges. Fisher currently has served as the head of the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics. Since 2005, he'll take over corrections next month. And Mississippi's unemployment rate has gone down, but it's still the highest in the nation. The state's jobless rate fell from 7.6% in October to 7.3% in November. It was 8% last November. Georgia and Mississippi tied for the highest rates in the nation. Alabama's unemployment rate is down to 6%. The national rate is 5.8%. Well, Google has filed a lawsuit against Mississippi's Attorney General over what the company calls an unjustified attack. Google alleges Jim Hood has threatened to prosecute, sue, or investigate Google unless it agrees to block websites he finds objectionable. The company says he's out of jurisdiction and is asking for a restraining order against Hood. Hood says there's probable cause to show that Google is violating the Mississippi Consumer Protection Act. Lots of bikes, toys, and games were presented today at the Giving Feast. Poplar Springs Elementary School in Meridian hosted its 28th annual Giving Feast. Students and parents raised money and brought in toys to give to those in need.
More to school than just reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's a time to encourage families to give back to the community, and that's what our students have done. They've brought all this. They've brought dollars for Jean Day, and all of that money helped to buy bikes. We had 30 bikes as of this morning, thanks to our parents. We have toys galore, and it all goes back to the families that are needy in our community and in the surrounding area.
All of the toys will now be donated to Wesley House, where they'll be distributed to many different families. Local veterans were given some assistance from you in the community today. We'll have that. Also up next, why protesters were taken to the streets in Birmingham this afternoon.
Rain showers as we head through the overnight, but drier for the weekend. Your forecast is next.
Welcome back. Alabamians expressed their feelings about stopping police brutality today by protesting. A Black Lives Matter protest took place on Highway 280 in Birmingham. Now, the protest had some tense moments, but overall remained peaceful. Earlier today, two protesters made their way onto the highway and were standing in the street for several minutes. Police negotiated with the protesters to move so traffic would not be disrupted. Now, one of the protesters says the protest is about being peaceful and opening dialogue with police.
Understand that we live in this world together. We live in this country together. Public safety involves me, it involves you, it involves everybody. We have to work with police and law enforcement. And if you heard today, there was some discussion about the good police officers or the ones that are being subdued.
Well, later in the day, protesters went to the Galleria Mall in Birmingham and staged a die-in. They also marched around parts of the mall chanting, "No justice, no peace." Well, Brian joins us now to talk about the rain and more rain.
Yeah, but rain is trying to come to an end. That's some good news. And a lot of us are dry at this point, but still some rain showers out. And we'll continue to keep our eyes on those. In fact, Southern Pine Electric Power Radar is scanning the skies for us and seeing some breaks in the rain north of Interstate 20. And it's also in western portions of the viewing area. The heaviest rain actually falling on top of really the Alabama-Mississippi state line through northern portions of Choctaw County near Lisbon up towards Jakin and just north of Pennington. And then that stretches into southeastern portions of Sumter County towards the Marengo County line right there along the Tombigbee River. But there are some breaks out there, and that is some good news. And rain is going to continue pushing off to the east and exiting as it does. Some good rainfall for us today. Almost a ½ an inch in the Queen City, 3/4 of an inch in Laurel, and almost 45/10 of an inch of rain falling so far at Naval Air Station Meridian. Outside of a stray shower, we are dry. 61 on Monday, 64 for your Tuesday. There's our next cold front. That will bring us some scattered showers through the day. We clear out though for your Christmas Eve at 55. Christmas Day, 58, very seasonal for us, and 60 next Friday under lots of sunshine. So not too bad. Still one more rain chance in there. We need the rain, but not bad for the end of December.
Well, Christmas Day looks beautiful.
Beautiful Christmas Day for us.
That's great. All right, thanks a lot, Brian.
All right.
Well, veterans who are in need this holiday season are being helped out. The Lauderdale County Veteran Services Office hosted a canned food drive. Now, all the canned food was donated by people in the past 2 days. The food's all going to veterans in need. And the food drive is over, but you can still drop off canned goods at the Veterans Office where they'll be stored and given to those in need.
I've discovered that a lot of veterans go hungry at this time of year, and I kind of not like that idea. So if I can help a veteran, I want to do it. Help them.
The Lauderdale County Veterans Offices will be open Monday, Tuesday, and half day on Wednesday. The offices are located on 1827 23rd Avenue in Meridian, or just call 601-482-9811. Why people are joining together to talk about loved ones who've been diagnosed with cancer. And that's coming up in Health Watch. Also, while one sheriff's department bringing cell phones to victims of domestic violence. Stay with us. County inmates are giving back to a local charity, but not by choice. The Kemper County Sheriff's Department brought in more than 300 confiscated cell phones to the Care Lodge Domestic Violence Shelter in Meridian this morning. Now, Care Lodge says clients there are encouraged to get rid of their cell phones because abusers will use phones and computers to track their victims. These new cell phones will be refurbished and distributed to give clients a new freedom.
It's going to be very helpful for them as they come into shelter, as they're trying to find jobs, get housing, and just reestablish independent living.
Well, Kemper County Sheriff James Moore says they've been collecting these cell phones since 2008. He says criminals try to sneak them in often, but he says an inmate having one is a felony. Well, even under the best of circumstances, we all need people in our lives who can offer us support. And according to several recent studies, socializing after receiving a cancer diagnosis can actually improve quality of life during and after treatment. In tonight's Health Watch, Holly Furfer explains the benefits.
When patients are diagnosed with cancer, it's important for them to not stay at home and just retreat. Experts say they need to take care of themselves, become educated, and become empowered in what's going to be an uphill battle.
When somebody is diagnosed with cancer, they usually will report that they feel very isolated, they feel very alone.
That's why resources like Cancer Support Community Atlanta is so vital.
We have support groups, education programs, we have gentle exercise classes, nutrition classes, and then social activities.
One such event brought together a group of cancer survivors to taste different types of coffee.
Really, the coffee tasting is secondary to the opportunity that we gave them, which is just to get together in the same room with a bunch of other people who understand what they're going through.
Having the uplifting experiences that I have here has helped me with my attitude and to be positive, and that's what's helped, I feel like.
I know it has to boost the immune system because, you know, I always feel better.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
Well, how some local organizations stepped up in a big way to make sure children stay warm this winter. That story right after the break. Well, a huge donation was made to WTOK's annual Coats for Kids campaign. Chapter members of Andrew Chapel Lodge and Longstreet Lodge stopped by the station this morning to drop off about 60 coats for our Coats for Kids. Chapter member Billy Jones says giving to charity during this time of year is a blessing.
To give back and make somebody a little bit warmer this year, especially with the problem with the homeless that we have in this area, it feels good.
If you'd like to donate, drop off a new or gently used children's coat here at WTOK in downtown Meridian, or you can drop them by Meridian Mutual Federal Credit Union, the Golden Spikes Athletic Club, or Newton and Dolbear and Butler. The coats will be distributed by Wesley House. So thanks to them for bringing all those coats. And Ashley's
donation.
Yeah. And Ashley's joining us to talk a little sports.
I do. Tonight we have the Alabama men's basketball team who took on Stillman. I'll have highlights from that game as well as the anticipated grade that Mississippi State quarterback Dak Prescott has received. And I'm not referring to school. Stay tuned. Sports are next. Well, Dak Prescott has received his NFL draft grade with Flannel Auctions. Pretty crazy.
Wow. That's a lot of money for a hat.
That's a lot of money for a hat.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Ashley. Well, coming up in just a second, I have a bit of news of my own for you right after the break.
The final check of your forecast is next. First, here's a preview of tonight's Jimmy Kimmel Live.
And finally tonight, I just want to say thank you to all of you and to all of our viewers and to WTOK television for the past couple of years. It's bittersweet for me tonight to say goodbye, but it is happy news for me. I've accepted a position as news director at KTIV Television in Sioux City, Iowa. Plus, I've recently become engaged to a wonderful man named Greg Sumrall. And the good news continues. We're going to have to show Brian and Ashley here in a moment. There he is. And Brian, they've watched this, and the story just gets better and better. Now his company is transferring him to Sioux City, Iowa. So I'm not going to say goodbye, but I'm really excited about this opportunity. And I'll tell everybody I'll see you later, and I'll be keeping up. I want everybody to stay in touch because Meridian and WTOK are just like family. And I thank you, and I thank you and you, Jeffrey, and Brian, and all the news team, and everybody at WTOK. It's been a wonderful 2 years and 2 months.
We're going to miss you, Dina.
I know. Well, it's wonderful how we can all stay in touch now. So we've had so much fun, and anyway, and I count on y'all to stay in touch.
I'll have to send you voice messages of my favorite saying to you.
Too.
Oh yeah. Should I do the Dina call?
No, you shouldn't, Brian. No, you shouldn't, Brian. You should tell us about the weather, though.
We'll do it afterward.
You should tell us about the weather.
All right, rain will exit for us overnight tonight. We have 59 tomorrow, 59 on Sunday, 61 Monday. Next cold front's on Tuesday. Dry for Christmas Eve though and Christmas Day. Ding!
That's what I hear from Brian. He's a sensitive sort of guy. So, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome, Dina.
Well, that's our time for tonight. Keep watching WTOK. Watch the Weekend Crew this weekend, and have a wonderful weekend.